ladies, welcome back to my channel. So today I am coming to you with something totally different. This is not makeup related, this is not beauty related, this is not clothing related, this has nothing to do with fashion and beauty. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this football player who knocked his girlfriend out with the uppercut, and he's still playing. So this video is to talk about the value that we put on ourselves as women, and especially as African American women or as black women, however you want to categorize yourself. And when I say value, I'm talking morally and ethically versus monetary value. So in case you don't know the story, and I don't know the full scope of the story, I just know bits and pieces from what my husband's told me, and I just did a quick Google search and got some stats. So this guy, Ray Rice, is a football player for the Baltimore Ravens. So TMZ initially reported that he and his then fiance at the time were in Atlantic City, and they got into an argument in the elevator at the hotel, and it was caught on camera. And they got into an argument, and apparently she spit in his face, and he knocked her out with an uppercut. Like, knocked her out so much to the point where he had to physically drag her, because she was knocked the F out, off the elevator. Okay, so the NFL then decided that because he was this star player, that they were not going to suspend him, nor were they going to kick him off the team. Instead, what they did was they fined him $500,000 and suspended him for 2 games. Let me point out that in 2012, he signed a 5-year contract worth $35 million. So $500,000 is a drop in a bucket. That is absolutely nothing. Now, before I go further into this, let's rewind to the Evelyn Lozada case when she married Chad Ochocinco. Okay, so I don't know if you ladies remember, there was an episode in that Basketball Wives of LA, or whatever the name of the show is. I don't really watch that show, but I remember her being on Iyanla Fix My Life, and I'm totally obsessed with that show. Iyanla showed a clip of Evelyn in that show where she was having a conversation with Chad before she got married, and she said to him, listen, I know you out on the road, and I know sometimes you get a little tickle, whatever, and you need a little TLC, you need a little loving. I'm just asking you to jimmy it up. That's it. I know you're going to do what you're going to do, but I'm just saying I'm going to need you to put a jimmy on it, right? She said this on the show. So you fast forward a couple weeks, couple months, whatever it was, she finds a receipt for condoms in the trunk, loses her mind, he cold cocks her, she's got a bruise on her head, and the team cuts him. Cuts him. Done. He's done. Done. No more. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Chad Ochocinco. Now, I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that what he did was right. I am comparing the two stories. So now, here you have this guy, Ray Rice, and Chad Ochocinco was the star player of that team. He was one of the star players of that team. So in my mind, and I don't follow football, I don't know, whatever, but in my mind, he was just as valuable as this Ray Rice guy is, right? So Chad Ochocinco got cut. Ray Rice was fined $500,000 and suspended for 2 games. Not to mention that he got a standing ovation at opening day camp. This is all after the fact. This is all after everybody knew that he knocked his fiancée out, the whole 9 yards. Okay, let's move on with the story. Okay, so she gets cold cocked, knocked out, dragged off the elevator. She then goes on to apologize, publicly apologize for the incident. He then goes on to publicly apologize to the NFL and his fans, but did not publicly apologize to his fiance. Now, the case goes on, it goes to court, the man was indicted. This whole incident when he knocked her out happened on Valentine's Day of this year, 2014. Okay? They go to court, he was indicted. They got married the next day. I'm sorry. What? This woman married this man the very next day after he was indicted. Okay, so I'm not gonna give you no more stats of the story. I needed to give y'all a little background as to what I'm about to say, because I'm about to go in like Iyanla. Okay, the problem I have with this, and I am going to reference Evelyn Lozada as well, and it goes back to our values, our moral and ethic values versus our monetary values. Now, this woman that is now married to this guy is a woman of color. I'll just say that. She's a woman of color. The question then becomes, who are you? And what are you thinking? What values do you have as a woman on yourself that you would allow a man to physically assault you? And then, not only do you sleep in the same bed with him that same night, or the next night, or the next night, or the next night, but then you marry him. Now, hang on a second. Could it be that the man in 2012 signed a 5-year deal worth $35 million? There's my morals and my values right there. That's my value. That's my price point. That's my price point. $35 million. So I'm basically saying you can knock me the F out anytime you want. Just go get them checks so I can live the way we living now. Let's go back to Evelyn. You can't tell me that was the first time that Chad assaulted Evelyn. That was just the first time that there was a visible scar that she had to explain and had to hold somebody accountable for it. Because she couldn't just say, oh, I fell down the stairs. Oh, a prop fell on me from the show. No. Somebody cold cocked your ass. You can't tell me, listen, if a woman is in a physically abusive relationship, that is not the first time that happened. And it may not have been so severe as an uppercut or so severe as a knock to the head where you needed stitches. It could have very well just been a shove or a mush or some other form of physical assault. But it's still a physical assault nonetheless. But it gradually progresses to an uppercut. I mean, at some point, you know, it's going to get out of control, and at some point it's going to go from him shoving you and pushing you with your Prada bag on your arm, or to him knocking you the F out with your Hermes bag. And I'm looking at these women, and you know, my heart breaks, because these women have literally put a dollar sign on their worth. They put a dollar sign on their worth. Now, before I go into that, sports commentator Stephen A. Smith of which I have to say, I do not care for this man in the least bit. In fact, I am going to use, I'm not even going to use that word. I do not like this man at all. I think he is one of the most arrogant, self-righteous, pompous individuals I have ever seen in my entire life. Okay? This man went on National Public Radio sitting alongside a black woman and made a comment about this case, about this Ray Rice case, when he uppercut his fiance. And his comment, now don't quote me exactly, but his comment was something like, a woman needs to know how not to provoke her man. I'm sorry, excuse me, could you repeat that? Excuse me, come again? What did you say? Okay, so the way I took that comment was, shut up, stay in your place. A woman needs to learn her place, stay in her place, get in that kitchen, make me a grilled cheese sandwich and some red Kool-Aid, serve it to me, and shut the F up. Don't ask me where I've been. Don't ask me where I'm going. Bitch, I'm going to the moon. That's all you need to know. So if my man comes in at 4 o'clock in the morning, been calling him and texting him all night asking, where are you? He's not answering his phone, he's not answering his text or whatever. Stephen A. Smith's comment leads me to believe or feel and think that when he walks through that door, I should greet him and say, whatever you like, whatever you like. Bark like a dog. Arf, arf. A really big dog. Woof, woof, woof. Really? So I'm not supposed to question my man, my husband, where the hell you been at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I've been calling you and texting you and you ain't been answering? I'm sorry. I have every right to ask you where the hell you been, because you are my husband and I am your wife. So that comment leads me to believe that Stephen A. Smith lives in this world where he thinks that he is holier than thou and men are holier than thou, and that they are so superior to women that we don't have the right to question the authority. Really? Okay. Then, now keep in mind, he made this comment sitting alongside his female black co-host. She was dumbfounded, okay? She then goes on Twitter and tweets about it and makes a tweet that was so very generic that if you weren't following the story and you didn't listen to their show, you would not have known that her comment was geared towards him. It was a very basic generic comment, and I don't remember it off the top of my head, but she made a tweet about his comment and she was reprimanded for it. Was Stephen A. Smith reprimanded for it? No, he was not. But she was reprimanded for tweeting about his comment. Now then he goes on to make this, of course, because now he's got to make this huge public apology, and he's got now he's got to sugarcoat it, right? Oh, it was taken out of context. That's not what I meant to say. You know, I come from the best mother on the planet and 5 sisters and raised by queens, and so that's not what I meant, but I sincerely apologize, blah 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 blah. Whatever, Stephen A. Smith. How about that? You can't say some shit like that and then come back, 2 weeks later and then decide that you were going to publicly apologize. The damage is already done. Now you have let the world know how you feel about women and their place. You gets the gas face from me. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back to how I feel about these women. I have a problem. I have a issue when a woman demoralizes demeans, and degrades herself for a dollar sign. Because basically, that's what this woman did. She demoralized, demeaned, and degraded herself because this man is a multimillionaire. And so the thought process is, all right, well, I could cover up this black eye with some concealer and some foundation, but I'm paid. I'm living large. I'm driving some hotness. I got everything I want materialistically. I'm sure, because we all know that he was whooping that ass before this even happened. Because trust and believe, if this was in court on a video camera in a hotel, in a hotel elevator, nobody would ever know that this woman had been abused. So trust and believe this ain't the first time. How sad and sorry is that? So this woman decided that she was going to degrade and demoralize and devalue herself for a dollar. That's what these women do. They devalue themselves to be taken care of. And it incenses me that these women think so low of themselves that they don't think that they're worth anything more than that. Well, if I keep my mouth shut, it's all good. Because he's a football player, right? Or he's a basketball player. And we all know what they do on the road, so that's acceptable. But he's coming home to me. Yeah, but he could be coming home to you with all kinds of STDs and shit and all kinds of mess. I don't want a husband that I know is going to cheat on me. I want a husband that's going to come home to me and look at me the same way he looked at me on our wedding day. I don't want him looking at another woman like that. Ever. It is not okay, for me to marry a man that has physically abused me. So much to the point where I'm knocked out and I'm hearing Tweety Bird in my head. So much to the point where I now need stitches because I have surface scars. I don't need that in my life just to be taken care of. Women, ladies, we can take care of ourselves. We are the strongest, most resilient, besides rats and cockroaches in New York, most resilient creatures on the face of the planet. Do you know how strong you are? Do you know what you are capable of? Do you know what you can conquer? Do you know what you hold in the palm of your hands? Do you know what you have up here? We're not even talking about the cookie. I'm not even going to get into the cookie. I'm talking about what we hold in our hands, what we hold in our minds, what we hold in our hearts and our spirit and our soul. What we are worth, our value. We are so valuable. We are so valuable. And to devalue, degrade, and demoralize yourself because your significant other or your boyfriend or your fiance or your husband has signed a $35 million deal is beyond me. You have just now said to yourself and to the world and to your husband, because now seriously, so you don't think that he is now looking at you like, oh, she gold digger, but she look good on my arm, she arm candy, so, and you got your Hermes bag and that's your arm candy, so it goes hand in hand. But you don't think he's looking at you the same way, like, oh, this bitch don't give a damn. She just want my money. All right, well, I'm going to treat her as such. I'm going to treat her as what? A hoe. I'm going to treat her as a high class hoe. That's what I'm going to treat her as. Julesy made a video, and I just watched it the other day, and I thought it was brilliant. I loved it. And the name of the video was "What Makes a Woman a Hoe?" Well, I think that this falls into that category. When you marry a man for money, and he is woo-za-za-zooping your ass, then I'm sorry. You are a mixture between a hoe and I hate to use that word, gold digger, but you know, it is what it is. My beautiful sisters, my beautiful black African American women of all shades of brown, you are so beautiful, and you are so worth more than you will ever know. If you just took a minute to understand who you are, and I'm not talking about what you see, I'm talking about who you are spiritually, who you are emotionally, who you are mentally, and what you put out to the universe, and what God made you to be, what God has created you to be, this beautiful queen. He did not create you to be a punching bag, but he did not put you on this earth for some man that's worth $35 million to uppercut you and knock your ass out on an elevator. If only you knew the power that you hold in the palm of your hands, in the center of your heart, in the depths of your soul, in the crust of your spirit. My God, do you know how rich you already are? Money comes and goes, but your morals, your values, once you kiss those goodbye, you can't get them back. Once you have demoralized, degraded, and devalued yourself, how do you then get that back? How do you get that back? I felt the need to record this and bring it to you. I want to know your opinions. I want to know how you feel about this topic. And it doesn't necessarily have to relate to this particular topic. I mean, this issue is bigger than Ray Rice. This issue is bigger than Chad Ochocinco. You know, I guess this is more geared towards not only black women, African American women, my beautiful, intelligent sisters of all shades of brown, but this is also geared towards these women that go after these men that are that are athletes, that are in the NFL, that are in the NBA, that are baseball players. So this happens far too often with African American women who are married or who are seeing an athlete. We just don't hear about it until, you know, it's caught on camera, or, you know, Evelyn Lozada has got a cut on her head. So let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know how you feel about this. Do you agree with what I'm saying? I know I said a lot without saying enough. The comment box below, I promise that I will respond. I respond to every single question or comment that you guys leave on my videos. When I started my channel, I did say that I wanted it to be all encompassing of who I am, and this is part of who I am. I am a therapist. I am a psychotherapist. That is just who I am. And so you know, for me to just come on here and just do makeup and show you the cute little top that I just bought would not be fair to me or to you, and I would not be keeping my word, because that is not all of Dawn Nicole. This is just another facet, another part of Dawn Nicole, and I hope that you guys find this other part of Dawn Nicole interesting. So if you like what you see, you know what you got to do. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about this. Let's go all in. Don't hold back. No holds barred. No holds barred. Let's get it in, y'all. Let's get it in. Until my next video, take care of yourselves and God bless. Bye.